Hey, everybody, it's go time, meaning if you picked up the remix, which is right here, some of you have the version that looks more like what's behind me. Let's see here. This is the one that comes from Amazon. Okay. You probably have this one. A select few of you, a handful of you, have this beautiful rendition that's only available um, from my website beginning next week. It has a jacket and a little inside scoop there, inside the cover there. Can you see that? Yeah. But it has the same contents as what you get on Amazon. But listen, if you picked up either one of these, right? Or you were lucky to get one of the others. If you go inside, right inside the title page, and you look there at the bottom, I'm going to show it just for a little bit. There is a code there. And the code allows you to go to my website, lmichellesmith.com, and get a $2,500 online course for absolutely free. That's beginning today. And look, I'm very excited because not just this, but I am releasing it on Kindle today as well. So look for that after noon central, okay? Sometime this afternoon should go live. The Kindle version of No Thanks the Remix will go live. You will also have that page inside of your Kindle edition. You will grab the code. You will go to lmichellesmith.com. You'll see the big pop-up. In fact, let's see here. Yeah. Let's go there now. Okay. You'll see this. Okay. You'll see this big pop-up, and then what you have to do is click on the pop-up. The pop-up's going to take you to the product page. At the product page, you're going to go through the motions like you're purchasing it, okay? So don't be afraid. You see that $2,500 price tag. Don't be afraid. Click to purchase, and then you're going to fill in the code that you have on the inside of your book. Once you've done that, you'll receive the link to the course, and you'll be able to use another password that is given to you after the purchase to access the actual course. I wanted to join you live today across all of my platforms to tell you a little bit about the course and then also give you a little peek inside. And for those of you that have not seen the remix, read the remix, and I'm beginning to hear from you guys. Y'all are like, this one was fire. Like, you already knew that the original was on point, but this, a third more content, two more affirmations, two more bonus chapters, some kudos from some wonderful people who've read the book. It's an amazing work, and I'm excited because it also tees up a couple of more projects in the franchise. So this is what you look for when you go on my site. Meantime, I wanted to tell you this course is pretty special to me because although it is consumer driven, it is for the individual. It is not for corporations. Some of you that work for organizations, large companies, have been asking me, oh, if we get the remix, can our people go? And technically, if they're buying it on their own, if you're buying a bunch of books off of Amazon, they can. But this is what you're going to miss out on, okay? It's a one-on-one conversation between me and the reader. These corporate workshops that I just announced yesterday, which we will be doing pretty aggressive outreach over the next several weeks, are tailored to your company and your needs. So don't sell yourself short. If you're an organization, you're trying to cut some corners here and get something for free, you're welcome to, but it's not advised, okay? Allow us to work with you to develop a workshop around the book that makes a lot of sense. But I'll give you a look at what this online course is about. But I need to tell you, right before the pandemic happened, in fact, I had been teaching at Texas Christian University on faculty, lecturing I hadn't even started yet. Before I started my first semester, we were required to take an, no, oh, I correct myself. I'd been there a semester, and we had to take a hybrid learning course, something that would share with us how to effectively put together courses for our students at this division 1 school, tier 1 school, so that our students would feel like they were getting the same education that they would in person, thanks to the pandemic. So it was asynchronous and synchronous learning. You should know what that means. But if you don't, asynchronous means that you're able to go in and take the course by yourself whenever you'd like. A synchronous course is where we do it all together, okay, whether it's live or recorded or what have you. I'm certified in that thanks to my instruction from Texas Christian University. I have a certification in hybrid learning. That works to your advantage as someone who is logging on to the online course, because we literally have course objectives that we expect to meet before it's over. And as you're working through the online discussion guide, at the end, you are able to submit for your certificate of personal development. And I expect to hear from you guys. And we will mail that to you and email that to you as soon as you finish the course. I'm so excited for this. Let me give you a little insight on the remix. When I decided to release a bonus edition, I reflected on everything that had happened in our world since August 2020, when No Thanks was first released. I knew there were more learnings and coaching I could provide to women of color that was relevant to what was happening in the world. I also took into consideration what I was hearing from readers. After hosting two 12-week No Thanks book clubs, speaking to hundreds of professionals virtually, and supporting my international clientele, a couple themes emerged. I wanted to see if what I was hearing anecdotally really was true. So I launched into a survey of 100 professional Black women. Portions of the results of that survey serve as the basis of this expanded edition. The balance will serve as the premise for my upcoming project, Yes Please, coming fall 2021. The journey to No Thanks, the remix, has been extraordinary, and with a third more content than the original edition, readers get more of what they say they loved: actionable insights, engaging and relatable storytelling, psychology-based coaching, and affirmations, data-driven tips and advice. You'll learn how to lead while handling microaggressive bullies in the workplace, and how to train your little girls to be resilient and believe in themselves before they enter the workforce. This bonus edition opens the door to my daughter's children's book that will be released the fall of 2021, No Thanks for Girls. All right, so a couple of chapter 8, a couple of nuggets in there for you, a couple things coming in the franchise. We've talked about them a little bit before on social media. My daughter's children's book is coming out at back to school time frame, No Thanks for Girls. And then also around Thanksgiving time frame, you'll see the next in the series, Yes Please, 7 Ways to Say I'm Entitled to the C-Suite. And we will be revealing not just affirmations for the positive self-talk that we need in these environments that seep through our pores with negativity to tell us that we're not good enough to lead. We need that positive self-talk. But on top of that, we're going to reveal some of the 7 secrets that you need to know about getting to the C-suite, getting there, and then once you're in that executive role, what to expect. Everything from how to accumulate generational wealth by negotiating the perks that you should, and then also knowing what it's like when you're in that boardroom and you may be the only one. We're going to hear from some of the top Black women and women of color in the business of the C-suite and listen to what they had to say, what they wish they knew then that they know now that they're going to share with you, so that you'll have the benefit of knowing what's been highly exclusive corporate culture. Okay, so now I want to give you a taste of the actual course. We're going to go to, let's see here. Do I have it? Yeah, okay. I'm going to share my screen and we are going to, oh boy, this is the wrong screen. Let's go back to the camera. Let's go to chapter 8. I'll give you a sample. Chapter 8. Now, this is where the book puts the pedal to the floor, okay? This is where we discuss privilege in all of its different shades and forms, but we zero in on white privilege because that is what is centered in corporate America. And the affirmation in chapter 8 is number 7. I will take positive cues from white privilege because I'm entitled. Okay. There are people who have seen that title and it tripped them out because it's like, wait, what's positive about white privilege? And you're right. In a lot of ways, it is very negative. Privilege can be negative no matter what form it takes. Listen, what I want to do for you is take you through a talk that I did for an organization that really breaks down what this is all about. Okay, so you have an idea of how it works. There are sections in the course where we do some whiteboarding. We literally go through exercises, some of the exercises that you see inside the book, like finding your passion points and your superpowers and actually working through your value proposition. Some of these things that are exercises that I go through with many of my clients so that they are very clear on their one thing and understanding their brand. And we take this back to the idea of your story being so important and you knowing your story. Because if you don't know your story, there's no way that you can find the keys from the past for your future. And there's no way that you can understand really what problem you solve today. Now, for those of you that are tied to your jobs and your job titles, this is going to seem a little bit unnerving because it's going to shake that up for you so that you understand what it is that you are put on this earth to do. It's just that deep. It really is about purpose. And if you understand your purpose, you'll understand your value. And once you understand your value, you can go into these rooms where you're not centered and understand that they might not like it, but that's okay. And we give you the tools and the knowledge that you need to understand how to lean outside of that organization so that you can lean into it with the confidence you need to be a transformational leader. And let's see. Here's when I decided to really trying to share a screen with you that, let's see. Oh, this is what we need to do. Stand by. This is the screen that I want to share. Stand by with me. I'm going to get this right. There we go. Okay, so we're going to walk through parts of the course so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so this is the greeting page. It level sets on what to expect. It's a greeting from me. It's video driven. So I'm there to talk with you through the entire course. Y'all, we're talking about 4 hours worth of content. And you will be able to click this collapsible menu. See, it opens and closes. You want to do that, and it's going to tell you exactly what to do. You watch the videos in each section. It gives you even information about making sure that you are running the video and then completing it. If you don't complete it or stop it,
Hi, it's L. Michelle Smith,
it'll
author of No
continue.
Thanks,
Okay,
7 Ways to
so
Say
you
I'll
want to
Just Include
stop,
Myself.
click on the next button, and there are 2 modules. The first module is going to take you through the course objectives. Welcome to module 1 of No Thanks, 7 Ways to Say I'll Just Include Myself, the online course and discussion guide. I am your host and facilitator. the author, L. Michelle Smith, and I'm excited. Okay, so you get this, right? I'm going to kind of fast forward here to another part. All right, so each section ends with a discussion guide. Now, I am encouraging you to make sure that either you're going through this by yourself or you get a group of colleagues together or friends together, girlfriends together, so that you can have these discussions together. I'm going to give you a sample of what that looks like after each chapter. All right, it's time for discussion and coaching questions. If you have your journal, get it very close to you. It should be with you all throughout. Hopefully, you're taking notes and you're also going to answer these coaching questions again. The answers to these coaching questions are the very beginnings of your strategic plan to move forward and upward as a woman of color. I'm so excited for you. Let's dig into chapter 7. I will bet on my brand. We learned that if you are clear on who you are, what your identity is, what problem you solve, who you do it for, and your value proposition, you will not waft in the wind when it comes to everybody else's brand, including. Okay, so the discussion questions at the end of every chapter, we discuss them. So make sure you have a group. The best way to take this course is with a small group of your colleagues and girlfriends. But you know what? It's a very reflective process. If you are writing down the answers to the questions diligently, you will have the very beginnings of your strategic plan to move forward into the C-suite or whatever your leadership dreams might be. All right, we'll skip to the end here and you will fill out a form to let me know who you are so that I can share with you and my team can put together your certificate of accomplishment and personal development for the No Thanks online course and discussion guide. And at the end, you're able to get some of the really cool products that we offer. All right, folks, I really wanted to show up for you live to give you a taste of what the online course is about. Some of you are probably asking, can I just purchase the course? You can. And I am going to set it up so that it's on sale for a limited time so that you won't have to pay the full price. In fact, today, I think we're going to do 20% off. 20% off this course in case you've decided you're not going to get the remix and you just want to buy it outright. You're absolutely positively allowed to do that. But let me tell you, get the remix. It is so worth it. Okay. Get the remix. You'll get this course for free. The other thing that I want to let you know is this is one of the absolute only times that the Culture Soup podcast will not air on a Thursday. We'll be back next week. We needed to get ready for this launch and we put every resource behind it. So I hope that you'll understand that I'm taking a break today and look forward to some really great conversations coming your way. This is No Thanks, the online course and discussion guide. It's available today at lmichellesmith.com. And let me make sure you have that, lmichellesmith.com. I'm going to make sure that's on the screen for you. And you can learn more about No Thanks, the book at lmichellesmith.com/no thanks, and all of the upcoming projects in the series and franchise. I appreciate every last one of you because, you know, my LinkedIn profile is very, very stealth. Some of you might say, oh, gee, I see her content. She doesn't get a lot of engagement. But if you were only in my DMs, if you were only in my email box, you would know that I get a lot of engagement. Many of you don't like to engage in public. I get lots of shouts out on Facebook. Hey, Gay Arbuckle. Hey, Randy Berryman. I think you're on LinkedIn right now. Cheryl Franklin. Good to see you. I'm seeing plenty of names popping up. Good to see you all. But I want to thank you because you have pushed this book onto several bestseller lists and categories on Amazon since it launched in August 2020. And as you know, I literally said no thanks to the publishing industry I had put my book through some pitching for some major houses. And at some point, the literary agent that I had was just taking too long. And right in the middle of the pandemic, I made the decision to say no thanks and opt out of that system and self publish. Listen, you can do that. Anybody can do that. If you are really believing in a message that needs to get out, don't wait on these folks to bless it. That's exactly the structure that we're trying to opt out of, something that centers everyone but you. Okay? And it doesn't mean that at some point I might work with a publishing house. It does not matter. But I knew that this point in time, in this season where we had just I call it a three-headed beast of the apocalypse. We had a leadership void. We're still dealing with the leadership fallout. We are dealing with a racial divide in this country. There was a civil rights movement, and some of you companies put up your black tiles, and we still haven't heard from you yet about what you're doing. Okay. Poor George Floyd and anyone else who passed away. Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, they're actually in the book. Okay. All of these people in all of these circumstances. And then we had the pandemic where people were getting sick and losing their lives and losing jobs, and the economy was going south. It seemed counterintuitive that this would be the very moment for Black women and women of color to step into our power. But we have more than one example of that happening. And sis, it's time. It's time for you to move forward. While these companies try and get their diversity, inclusion, and equity and all of this performative whatever together, you can still do this. And don't you stop and you wait. You say no thanks and include yourself. I'll see you online.